The old fairy tales, if you really look at them and get the essence of them, they're all telling you the same thing Scripture does. Look at Pinocchio. The story there is perfect. It just tells you, what idiots we start out to be. Just because we're uninformed. And you have to be informed. You have to know what you're doing. So there's no reason for you to be uninformed. That you can change your mind, change your world. It's that simple because God told you it was that simple. He told you to do it. And if God tells you to do it, then you can do it.
Absolutely. And going back to what we started off the discussion with, was your father's business. And a lot of times in choosing this day as you think you are, see, that's our business, thoughts, what we're thinking about, what we're giving our attention to. But the Father's business is this. It's the manifestation. How it's going to be manifested. Some of you get in mind of what it is that you want to create, what you desire to have in your world. Then you try to think about how it's going to be manifested, and you start writing this roadmap that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and when I get done with that, I'm going to do this, and this is how it's going to be manifested. And what you discover at the end of the manifestation is that it didn't happen even close to what you thought it was, the way it was going to happen. Would you agree?
If it happened at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. You see, because people don't realize that they're really on all the time. And that every word that you say is taken into culmination to make up your life of experiencing. So you're creating your life moment by moment by moment. It's not created for you. You have choice. Choose this day. It's always this day. No matter what day it is, it's always this day. Choose this day. Are you doing that? Are you choosing the day? Or are you just going along with what's going on? Yeah, I know. I repeat this over and over, but it's so important for you to understand that you're creating your world out of your own mouth. And even if you're not speaking outwardly, you're thinking feelingly, and that then is taken and your world is made according to that, and you always get more of the same. So stop judging by appearances. Judge by new mindsets.
Now, in speaking of that, he said, think with a new mindset. Anytime you take on a new thought, you're being reborn. Lindell said it previously, that when you think something new, he says, people say to him all the time, oh, I don't know I can't change my mind. This is the way of thinking and so forth and so forth. And he says, that's nonsense. He says, every time you make a direction or a decision to do something new or different, you've changed your mind. And he's absolutely correct. Some of you have made this so difficult because you say to yourself, I was raised this way, I was born this way, it's part of my culture, it's a part of my religious upbringing. Whatever the story is that you're telling yourself, it can be changed. If you are a student of Neville's, even for a short time, if you've heard any of his talks, and you've listened from just one complete talk, then the fact that you say that I can't change, it can be changed. His whole philosophy is a philosophy of change your thoughts, change your world. That's scriptural. So it's not even Neville saying it. It's not Lindell saying it. It's not DeCarlo saying it. This is what Scripture says. Change your thought, change your world. And you can change your thought. That's the first thing that you have to be in agreement with, that you can change. And once you make the decision to change, everything else is going to follow. Would you agree?
Yes, has to. Can't not do so. You see, that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is as you think you are, no matter what you think you are. So choose it. I mean, come on. Think about it. Choose it. Not think about it. Think from it. You think from the new identity until you actually have the new identity. And only you'll know when that happens. And you're the only one who should know anyway. And you should know. You're supposed to know. You're given to know. All you have to do is ask. Ask. Believing. Receiving. And someone says, well, there's the catch. You always have to believe it. Well, everything you have is what you have believed. And since you received all of those things, well, then switch over your thinking and see if you don't receive from the other side. It's just as simple both ways. That's what it means. It says choose. If you choose nonsense, you have to have nonsense produced because that's what you've chosen. You dream up monsters and then you wonder, well, how's this happening? Well, as you think you are. And if you're now suffering something, well, you must have thought it up because otherwise it doesn't exist. Thinking makes it so. That's what I'm here to witness to. Whatever you're talking to yourself about, thinking makes it so. Watch it. Watch your mouth.
You made me think about something. You said something in your train of thought about if there was an ailment inside in an individual, if they were experiencing an ailment, then they had to think that it was so. And, at that moment, it just really kind of, man, wow. And I say that because there's cultures in the world that we would call savages. They've never heard about the flu. They've never heard about cancer. They've never heard about the coronavirus. So they have no point of reference for all the diseases that we have in our society. Doctors and pharmaceutical companies are making up new diseases every day, and all of a sudden you're watching TV and they put this new disease out to you. You didn't have any symptoms or anything close to this disease. All of a sudden, the commercial puts out these symptoms, and they say, if you're experiencing blah, 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 you say, man, I am experiencing blah, 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 blah. I must have blah, 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 whatever that is. But there's cultures in the world, they don't have a TV. They don't have all the scientific studies and the professionals and all the things that we think that makes us so much better than the savages, as we call them. But they're walking from a place of abundance. They're walking from a place of health. They're not dealing with, all the sickness that we deal with. And why is that? Because it's not a part of their belief systems. Would you agree?
Yeah, that's right. They have their own. They have their own. They have their own problems. And the outside world doesn't even know some of the things that they suffer there because the things that they think about. So everybody is suffering what they think. Or everybody is enjoying what they think. Think only on things that are lovely and a good report, and then there you are. See, the thing of it is, you were given to choose this day. Why would you choose to worry or be fearful? You see, you have to choose it to be it. If you don't choose it, it won't be you. Think only on things that are lovely and of good report. That's it, over and over. Say it again and again until you really think, why would he say such a thing? Why would the Lord say, think only on things that are lovely and of good report? Why would he even say that? To humanity, of course, but why? Why would he even say that? And it also says, to the Lord belongs escape. What would he escape from? Me. Paul said it. Do you not realize that Jesus Christ is in you? So there you are. It is. What do you think about all day long? Your problems? That's a good way to expand them really fast. You think so?
I do. And you said, to the Lord belongs escape. And you said, what do you have to escape from? And you said, me. And it's so true. If we understand that I am, when we're focusing on let's say, lack, loss, limitation, negativity, all the negative aspects of life, why life is not worth living, whatever. Your escape is in the Lord. And what is that escape? Whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, whatsoever things are praiseworthy. You begin thinking on these. Throughout Scriptures, from Genesis to Revelation, God was continuously saying, do not fear, do not fear. Give your attention to this, not that. Everything came back to thought. And Lindell asked the question, why do you think that God said that? Because God understands that we're energy systems. And whatever it is that we're giving our energy attention to, what we're going to manifest.
That's it. Now, you said the whole thing right there. Whatever you give your energy to, you experience it one way or the other. But the point is that you're not alone. I am with you always. Even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm with you. What do you have to fear, except fear itself? Someone told me, well, you don't get out of this alive. Well, no, the body doesn't, but you do. You're not body. You have one, and it's a nice covering, but it's not you. And what you're doing, that's not you either. That's just what you're doing. Who you really are at the moment is rather silent because he's experiencing what you're experiencing because he gave you choose this day. He is the power that makes up what it is you've chosen. He didn't say he agreed with anything you're doing or everything you're doing, but he gave you choose this day. And you can see what people choose. They choose the things that destroy them, or they choose the things that make them happy. How are you choosing?
And as we wind down, I do want to make mention, because some of you are looking for tools so that you can begin choosing in the right direction. If you go to Metaphysical Art Theater, you'll discover our CDs as well as our books. Anyone that purchases the CDs for a limited time only, what you'll get is not only the CDs mailed out to you, because they're going to be hard CDs, they're going to physically be mailed to you, but beyond that, you're going to also get the 4 books in a PDF format. So the second you make the order of the CDs, what's going to happen is within 24 hours, you're going to also be emailed the PDF books of each one of those CDs. Now, of course, you can go out on Amazon and purchase those books, but if you order the CDs, the books are going to become a part, they're going to be a part of the CD set. So not only will you have the CDs to listen to, but you'll have the books to follow along and to meditate upon. Our whole goal is life change. And that's why we've created these vehicles for life change. Matter of fact, we're in process with the books of even getting those books translated into Spanish. And then we'll look at some other languages down the road. But our desire for you is for you to become conscious creators of your world of experiencing. And as we're closing, Linda, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I couldn't add anything to that. I think you covered the whole thing right there. That was good. A good delivery.
Well, sir, you got a last words of wisdom as we close down?
Do it. Whatever it is you desire to do it. Lovely and a good report. I want to stress that. But, no, you're told do a thing. Thing. What thing? Well, that's what you're choosing. A thing. If you choose it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's as simple as that. But you can't fool anyone about your really feeling nature, because that's the one that's producing your everydayness. So you're always thinking ahead of the evidence you're experiencing. You can take it from there.
You said a mouthful, and in saying that, we're going to say thank you for listening to the broadcast. We appreciate you, and keep listening, and listen often.
Listen often. Listen often. Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you, sir.